I spent 72 hours training with an off-road motorcycle instructor, and I had a rough time. My name's Samantha Zitto. I've been riding motorcycles on and off-road for the last 11 years, but I know my off-road riding skills could use some help. I got to train a little with Jocelyn Snow earlier this year, but I knew I had a lot to learn still. So I reached out to SHEADV and Shell Marie Wilson to sign up for her class at Touratech Rally West to further my education and riding this beautiful 2022 Honda Africa Twin Adventure Sports DCT off-road.
I'm Shao. I've been training people for the last 6 years. I am not your typical ex-pro racer or a GS qualifier, but I am a certified on and off-road instructor. I probably have more certifications than, well, any instructor that I know of. I'm currently up to date on 13 different curriculums, and I literally travel all over the country to do this. The more skills you have and the more you can master your bike and put it where you want it, when you want it, the funner it's going to be.
The first step to mastering our bikes is starting with the basics.
So just like any other sport, you know, say the Super Bowl, for example, before the game, the players warm up and they practice a little bit, getting their mind and body present with what they're doing. We as motorcyclists need to be doing the same thing. So the very first, couple of exercises that we're going to go through, that could be your warm-up.
So every one of these bikes, including Pegasus, they all weigh the same when they're in balance. The idea is to learn the balance point of your bike.
I can't emphasize enough how much confidence you get by just doing this simple exercise of walking around the bike and keeping it balanced. We did this as a warm-up every morning before training, and I felt like it helped me get into this mindset of working with my bike so I could get ready for the challenges of the day. I may not have been as smooth at it as my friend Chris, but it felt really good.
So this is another important exercise. This is the exercise that dispels the myth that bikes are too tall. And you're just literally gonna shift one foot to the other, just like this. Watch Chris's bike, how quiet it is. She's not bringing it over with her. She's keeping the bike in balance, little to no effort. And she's just working on putting one foot and then the other. After you get comfortable with that, you're now gonna stand up and over.
I don't know what your leg day looks like, but doing this particular exercise had my leg muscles burning like crazy, and I wasn't the only one. It's something that looks so simple until you're doing it on repeat for 10 minutes. Note to self, don't skip leg day. It did have me a little nervous for what was to come for the rest of the weekend.
You're gonna have a weaker side than the other. What do you think you want to do with the weaker side? Yes, practice it more.
We went over other basics like the many different ways of picking up bikes, including a jack demonstration and body position. All things you think you know until someone explains it just a slightly different way and you pick up something new, which is why taking training like this is so important no matter how many years you've been riding. Things like this.
Hands. Okay, I'm thinking about bananas. Okay, so I don't want to squish the bananas. That's putting too much input into the bike. And the bike does not behave very well when we've got a lot of tension. No squished bananas. We're not making banana bread.
Once warm-ups were done and we've covered our basics, it was time for the fun part. Or at least, it's the fun part to me. What other kind of environment are you going to get the excuse to play and ride on one peg or learn to do the cowboy mount? It's also an invaluable opportunity to get direct one-on-one feedback from a coach like Shao.
How was that?
That was fun.
Nice.
I had a great time.
Nice.
Good.
Okay, so with it being the DCT and no clutch, the way you can essentially replace your clutch is using that rear brake a bit more. So it's a way to stabilize the bike. Okay. Rear brake and then a little bit of throttle. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I was having a blast until I wasn't. I felt so good after the first day, but I started getting a little lazy. When we were doing drills, instead of lining up and waiting my turn, I was unfocused, not paying attention, dragging my brake to essentially slow race myself to the end of the line, and yeah. Focus is so important to getting these skills down, paying attention, and not letting your mind wander.
Motorcycle riding is a sport. We both mentally and physically have to be present. It's challenging both mentally and physically.
Once I had messed up one thing, it felt like I was messing up everything.
I need to do better. So frustrating to feel like you're good at it one direction and then not be able to do it a different direction. It's fine. We can do this. We can do this. Eyes up, looking through the turn, pointing toes.
I got way too in my head about trying to do everything perfectly instead of making small progress and taking the wins where I could.
Breathing. Breathing is also important. Countering. Other direction. Looking through the turn.
So Amanda came into this with quite a bit of skill. She's riding a fairly big bike, the African Twin, and she rides it loaded often, right? So Amanda came in with those skills, and as we started progressing into the more advanced stuff, tight turns, getting right up into the pegs and counterweighting right away and doing the tight turns, we all can, work on that. And I feel like we all find those things as we start getting challenged of, okay, yeah, I can make my bike turn in a 25-foot radius. We don't always have that luxury of a 25-foot radius. So, working on those skills where we could get right up into those pegs and do a, 12-foot radius, and then, even tightening that down and figuring out how body position is so important, especially on those big bikes.
Oh.
I tried this over and over and over again, and I could not get it, and I felt horrible. I started questioning why I was even doing this. It was so frustrating. And then I finally had one breakthrough.
Nicely done!
It felt so good to finally get validation of hearing that I did something correctly from an instructor, and it all opened up for me.
So one of the most gratifying things for me as a coach is to watch the riders roll up day one, how they're riding, how tense they might appear, things like that. And then like day one, everybody's got nerves, and you can see those nerves, right? And then as the days progress and they're building on their skills, you could see their confidence going up and their fear coming down. And it's so gratifying, especially after, you know, a 4-day training session. It's night and day. I mean, most riders, whether they're super beginner or they've come in experienced, you can still see that progression. And you listen and can hear it also through them.
Woo! At the end of the 4 days, we were all given an opportunity to ride an obstacle course that was set up for the Touratech rally, and I chose to give it a try.
Okay.
Amanda, do you do your own stunts?
I do my own stunts. No one believes me. I did it!
You did great.
It maybe didn't go exactly the way that I thought it would, but I was so proud of myself for even trying and getting through the parts that I was the most anxious about. A few members of the group hung out for an extra day, and we all got to go on a trail ride together, which was probably the icing on the cake. Getting to hang out and ride with such a great group of women was incredible. If you or a woman in your life is interested in joining a bigger community of women ADV riders, I'll let Shal explain a little bit about what SHEADV is all about.
SHEADV has been in existence since 2015. We got off to a really good start. We were trying to get into a nonprofit organization. So we've relaunched the brand, bringing new color and life into it. And we truly have a powerhouse team of women in this industry. And really our mission is going to be to educate, connect, and empower women, not only in the adventure world, but it will transform other parts of their lives as well. So we've redone the website. We've put together Trailside, the SHEADV Trailside. That's a monthly Zoom call. We spend an hour, again, educating, and we're bringing in different topics and subject matter that the other women are looking for. So I'm super excited to still be part of the team and to have more women coming in and bringing in their experiences and their strengths to the program.
The whole SHEADV team created such a great environment for learning and pushing our comfort zones, but also giving us room to stop and pace ourselves. Coming out of 4 days of training, I knew I still had things to work on, but my confidence with riding this Africa Twin off-road has definitely improved.
I just have to say what a badass Amanda is, because I just attempted to take her fully loaded Africa Twin to get gas, and I cannot ride it. So the fact that she's going to take that fully loaded bike on a ride, and she does this all the time, I am beyond impressed.